Hello and welcome. We're just jumping in. Hello. This is Tyson and Teddy Talk the 100, Season 7, Episode 14, Recession Proof. My name is TeddyChinaris. This is Tyson. Say hello.
Hello, Tyson.
I didn't even say that.
I know. I said it.
That's great.
I like to talk to myself.
Oh, my God. Okay, so I was trying to jump right into this episode, but then we started talking about video games because that's what we do. But thankfully, we did not discuss this episode at all. My goal was to not discuss the episode because last time we actually talked a good bit about it beforehand.
off camera. Yeah.
So now, just like cold open. What did you think of the episode? Because I was kind of freaking out to you on Discord about like how I thought it was really, really good. So yeah, I'm curious.
I'm the same. Like there were a couple things I didn't like in the episode, but that's like every episode. But overall I did really like this. It felt really satisfying. Like we were like all like everybody was together. It was like there was a lot of heartwarming moments, a lot of like
It's just a really well-made episode.
yeah.
like the
well-paced,
pacing.
yeah.
Yeah. The pacing felt really good. All the dialogue was really good. Like
There was
it's a lot of awesome moments.
part with where was it? I think it was like the Shade Hater part when he was like invisible. That I'm like, man, you could have cut all of that. where he's just chasing them and they're just running around looking for Maddie.
No, I actually have a note about that I really liked. I
didn't like that just because it was just like it was tense. And so like the music was getting like louder,
but they
and
kept
faster.
cutting in between that and like Gabriel playing music.
But then it went to like where a commercial would be. Like it didn't like pay off in that like block. It paid off into like the next block. And so I was kind of like it felt like it was like an empty payoff.
I got really into this episode, and I have this is one of the episodes where I have a lot of notes. So we're gonna go through it. I'm actually gonna open my door real fast because it's very hot in here. So I'm
gonna turn my
do that real quick.
I'll turn my fan on.
And now we're gonna get into the episode. That's what we do here. I didn't explain the show, but this is Tyson Teddy Talk the 100. We talk about the 100, but specifically the last season, which there are only 2 episodes left.
Yes, next week's the penultimate. Penultimate.
It's crazy.
I love that
can't
word.
believe it. But like everything really truly is coming together.
There's still a couple I'm just like, man, everybody keeps talking about the last war. I still have we're not gonna find out until like the last half of the last episode.
It's not gonna be I knew that from the beginning. It's like this season, like they mention it a lot, but it's definitely not gonna be about the last war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be a finale kind of thing of like here's the climactic moment. The last war is really more like the last battle. You know? It's like when Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas jumped off that boat with all the ghosts. That's not the last battle in that movie.
They jumped off. Isn't that the last battle?
No, because
when they got the ghosts,
then they go to the Black Gate, right, or whatever it's called. They go.
When did they get the ghosts? I thought that's
they get
right
the ghosts
before
in
the last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't
it's not
know.
the last battle.
I haven't watched that movie.
It's a great movie. It's fantastic.
I don't have 12 hours to watch all 3.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, so my first note. Oh fuck! I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared to deal with this in bold. Then I was actually really shocked because the previously on went through the whole scene again.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that they picked up right where they left off with Clark fucking crying going through the portal.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, okay, all right, here we go. Then they spawn in. Tyson was right. Hashtag Tyson was right.
Always.
They're in the second Dawn bunker. They're on Earth always. God damn it. Yeah, they're in the second Dawn bunker, and Gaia is here.
Yeah.
The person we left 10 episodes ago. Like legitimately, I think it was episode 4.
Yeah.
And never heard from again. She's here. She talks about how she fought the disciple. They even showed a whole flashback of it. She said, when you're caught, I wrote down a lot of the quotes in this episode. She said, when you're caught in the closing bridge, it defaults to the planetary origin of your DNA, which for her is Earth. I'm like, okay, well, all right.
I was like, you know what? It was a pretty compact like way to explain it. And like with this world, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I got it. You're on Earth.
Yeah.
Right. Sounds good. Good enough for me. And then speaking of Lord of the Rings, I didn't even mean to do this, but I just referenced Lord of the Rings, and now I'm about to again in my notes that I wrote yesterday. She absolutely pulled a fucking Eowyn where the guy's like, what is it? He said, for all mankind, and she's like, I am no man, and swings her sword.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, oh my god. It was pretty great. Let's see. And then they all come out of the bunker. I was like, I wrote, holy shit, that made me so emotional. Because them stepping out of the bunker to see all of the green trees, like that shot looked very original 100, like season 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was like very high saturated too. Like it was like very, very,
which is kind of how it looked in season 1.
Yeah.
It was a lot more colorful. Like I think the color grading was a little different. But
I think it makes it feel like more hopeful. Like because like
I mean they're closing it out. That's what I was like. Wow, they're rounding this out. They're actually doing it. They're finishing the show right now. But yeah, I was my note says they're really doing this. They're gonna close out this show. ... Because I'm really sad about it. And then Echo turns to Clark. It's like, where's Bellamy? In all caps, my note is she just casually said dead.
Just dead.
Because she was she's crying she takes a minute and she's like dead. And then Echo's like, what the fuck? You fucking what now? And then she goes through the whole thing of what happened. She explains of how they would be after Maddie if blah, 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 if they knew about the sketchbook. And then Octavia is the one. Octavia and Echo are both like tearing up. Octavia is getting like hella close to Clark, and it's freaking me out. You know, it's definitely. I knew this was gonna happen. Yeah, but I also really didn't. Like she was coming, like she was getting closer to Clark and tearing up, and I was in my head before this happened. I was like, she's either gonna punch her in the fucking face or she's gonna give her a hug. It's going to go one of two ways. And I really thought she was going to give her a hug, but I also was like kind of not watching because I didn't want to see.
Yeah, like they played it pretty well. If she did
punch her, then it was going to go down and Echo was going to be mad too. And I was like, this is going to go either one of two ways. Yeah. And I was a little scared. But yeah, she gave her a hug. And she said, this is the quote. She said, I understand, and so would the old Bellamy. I really thought she was gonna punch her. And then I thought I wrote down more of this. Oh yeah. I understand, so would the old Bellamy, the one who would do anything for his baby sister and the people he loved. And I was like,
and like the music during this like whole like unpacking of all of this, like even when Echo starts talking and everybody's kind of like consoling each other over the death of Bellamy, like the music was really good. This was like a really really good scene.
Yeah, Echo was the one I was still scared about, and then she she started by saying, "We lost him a long time ago," and then she kind of explained like Bellamy's mindset in a way. I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, that's about right. She said he needed all this chaos to make sense. Cadigan gave him meaning, and that meaning is what killed him, not you. And I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. I feel like that's gonna make a lot of people mad.
Really? I feel the other way. I feel that that's gonna like it's almost
I feel
like
that is an attempt to smooth it over.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's gonna work.
It's like everybody was upset because
like, fuck you.
Everybody was upset because they killed Bellamy, but then at the beginning of this episode, we kind of see that it's not like the characters um, don't like him anymore, but they saw how far away, how far gone he is, and so it's almost like there's no other option other than to kill him, because
in that moment at least, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking then it starts. They show like a shot of pretty much everyone dealing with it.
Yeah.
Murphy
and one single
teared
tear.
up. Just one single tear went by. That actually made me cry.
I was like, oh,
Murphy being affected is what got me. I was like, oh, damn it. And there's actually kind of more of that later. Then they go down in the bunker. They start talking about what they're gonna do. Clark grabs the helmet. This bit was fucking terrifying. Clark grabs the helmet and starts smashing it against the wall.
Oh yeah, because they find the orb, because they want to go back to Sanctum.
Yeah, they find it through the helmet.
Yeah,
they see where it is.
Because they're like, oh, let's bring everybody back here because Earth is livable. I was like, I knew Earth was gonna be. Everybody's gonna come back to Earth. That's gonna be the end. The end. Everybody's just gonna come back to Earth, and they'll destroy the orb somehow. They'll destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you at this point. But yeah, she smashed the helmet. She was like, everyone we care about is here. I'm not losing anyone else. And it was like, this is absolutely Clark fucking taking charge.
Yeah.
Like this is a classic Clark moment right here. But like, I don't know. I immediately was not for it because it was very clear of this is absolutely Clark just making a choice for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly it's not the clear cut right choice, you know, whereas a lot of the time Clark has done that and it's been very much what they should have done.
Also, there's only a handful of people. How are you going to repopulate the whole Earth? There's only 10 of you.
I don't think that's their goal. I
know, but you got to think long term.
They're just trying to survive, you know?
I guess.
It's all about what you can do for your people.
Yes, but you need to have more people so that they can do more things for more people.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Then we cut over to Bardo with Shade, Hada, and Bill. So
Bill's got the book.
Yeah.
So it was all for nothing, really. It's such a weird turn of events where she killed him for the book, but then she didn't get the book.
That's
and now Bill has the book.
Yeah. But Shade, Hada, they scooped him up. They're keeping him alive. And then they were like, which I have a thing to mention about in a second. But he was like, oh, did you draw these? And he's like, no, but I know who did. Bill goes through the whole thing. I wrote down, I liked how Shade Hada actually summarized the plot that has been very convoluted this whole season.
Yeah.
Super easily in a second. And I was like, oh, yeah, look at that.
That makes sense. Well, because doesn't Bill say something about you don't know what I've been doing or stuff like that, and then Shade Hada's just like, you were doing this, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Bill actually, I also wrote down, Bill explained transcendence more than he has before this entire time.
Yeah.
He was like, if we win, we transcend, evolving beyond these meat sacks that age and die, becoming one with the universal consciousness. I was like, Jesus Christ, bud. All right, that's a lot.
So it's like you
translation wrong again.
It's like you become one with God. It's like everybody becomes a part of God, kind of.
Yeah. Y'all become a hive mind, which doesn't seem good. So I don't know.
But you're not a person anymore.
Yeah.
You're not in transcend. You leave your body, so your soul would just become part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Sounds boring to me.
Yeah, I know.
It's really boring.
I don't know why you would want that. I also wrote down that he said that no matter where you are and if you're in the fight or not, if you lose, you die. If you win, you transcend.
Yeah.
I don't. But how the fuck do you know that? You're making all this shit up, dog.
Pretty much. I did love this scene because it's the two antagonists of the season.
Yeah.
In a room, the way they're conversing, I just loved having both of them there because they're both very different, but they're both very bad guys.
Yeah,
it was cool having them together.
My final note on this scene is that Shade Haida, he decides to go after Maddie, to go get her. And I was like, Shade Haida going after Maddie is kind of a way for all of these plot lines to combine. Like, it's kind of...
I think we said this like a while ago too, in an episode, like way before any of this stuff, like how, because something about, I think maybe it was the Becca episode, like the backdoor pilot, where we kind of talked about them using Shade Haida to tie everything together.
Yeah. We were like, how are they going to fucking combine like all these different groups?
Yeah.
God, cut that out. I'm dying. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The next scene is Jackson and Miller in bed talking for a bit. It's not a super long scene, but this is kind of where we're seeing how everyone's dealing with Bellamy. Like Miller's pretty fucked up about it in a way. And he was talking about how Bellamy forgave him for everything that he did in the bunker. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And he starts talking about his dad, and I'm like, well, I don't fucking remember your dad, Miller.
It's
you know what I mean? I was like, I'm only going to write down about Bellamy. I don't remember Miller's
But it's weird.
dad.
This is weird because it's weird because I just don't know if they didn't really construct, or they didn't give Miller that much screen time or the right lines, because like now he has more lines, more screen time, but like I just don't care.
That's
whereas the other thing,
like Miller, but he is definitely like he's one of it's like in previous seasons. I wish I could name an example, but there are these people that last. That like you weren't expecting to last, that were kind of in the background the whole time, and then they come to the forefront, right? And Miller is one of the few of the background characters that has then become a character, and he definitely has had time, and he definitely has had development, but it's not nearly as much as some of the others.
Well, because like on the flip side, then we have Nyla, who's been around forever.
Sure, and, like, but even Nyla doesn't have a ton.
No, but I'm saying in this season alone, like they're giving me enough stuff where I wish that she had more. Like in this episode, she has a lot of like comedically timed perfect lines, and I was like, man, like give me more Nyla.
Yeah. Let's see. And now we go to Nyla's rec room, as she called it. It's this little room with like a piano and some. It's really nice. Actually, I don't know how that was just hers. And then she goes like under this vent and pulls out this fucking drink, pulls out this wine bottle, and is like, we're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but basically.
We're back on Earth. We're going to party tonight.
Yeah, dude. But I really liked this, though, of how it was a throwback to, like, she was like, yeah, back when we were in the bunker, there's a lot of rules, and I fucking sometimes got drunk, you know? So I was like, you know what, that's cool. I like that.
I can get behind that.
And then, yeah, I liked that Jordan asked if the drink was safe, and she was like, it was never safe.
Yeah.
But
didn't you say your father made it?
Yeah, she was like, it was your dad's recipe.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Monty's. That's great. I love that. I was like, shout out, dude. I miss Monty. And then Jordan going over and offering Hope a drink was the beginning of them in this episode.
Yeah.
And it was super cute, and I liked it a lot. And then, let's see. After that, we're going to Maddie and Clark in their bunk.
Mother-daughter dispute.
Yeah. This is like, Maddie really did portray like the teenage daughter. I'm mad. I hate you.
Yeah. But she had a lot of good points as well.
But absolutely, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of good points here. Like Maddie's kind of has a lot of wisdom beyond her age at this point. Maddie said, "You decided for me again." And then Clark said, I decided for everyone, and then sighed. And then she was like, it's what I do. And I was like, what a good moment, because I physically said that, like, before Clark did, when Maddie was like, you decided for me again. I was like, oh, she decided for everybody.
Yeah.
And then she said it, and I was like,
it's what a leader does.
Yeah, it's very Clark. Yeah. And then my next note is shit in all caps. Clark said something about, like, we're here, we saved our friends, and then Maddie's like, your friends. I was making a life in Sanctum, and then she named the two kids that she had been like making friends with.
I forgot the names already.
One was Luca, who I think is the soccer kid. And I was like, oh, soccer kid, let's go, okay. But she really named, like,
what
the
if she
two...
said soccer kid? She's like, I don't remember his name,
Ben
but he plays soccer.
Kid.
Oh, yeah, Ben.
I just made up Ben. I don't know.
I thought, no, that might have been right.
Maybe. Oh,
something
my God,
like
if it was, that would be amazing. But, yeah, I was like, that's actually a really good fucking point. Like, Clark... This was kind of a selfish move, all things considered. Like, she was thinking of keeping Maddie safe, but she wasn't thinking about what Maddie wanted.
Well, and like this is a little bit later on, but Murphy says it as well. Like, a lot of people are still from Earth, like Tree Crew and like the what is it? The prisoners. Yeah, the prisoners, and so it's like, and they're all human. Like they are all human. So Earth is their home, no matter what. So
yeah. Which is right in this next scene, which I really loved. Murphy, Amori, and Raven are all together, but it's Murphy and Amori like crouched down with the helmet for a bit, and then like the power comes on. Well, the power comes on at first in the previous scene, but then it cuts to them, and then Raven comes out of the room of wherever the power room, that's what they call it. And Murphy was like, "You did it! Like, good job. Now fix this helmet." She's like. She was like, I'm not a miracle worker. I can't fix this helmet. But yeah, I wrote Raven got the power on, and now Murphy wants Raven to fix the helmet. And then in all caps, I wrote, holy shit, this is the hero crew. Oh my God, I can't believe this with 3 exclamation points. Murphy just said, we can't leave all those people on Sanctum now that we know it's survivable here.
Yeah.
I was like, this is because like throughout the 100, there are parts of the main cast that like, I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this to try and help everybody and connect the grounders and the blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this for the grounders. There's like a lot of people like, I'm doing this just for myself, Murphy in the past. And then I'm doing this for everyone. Like I am the hero. Like I am the moral compass. Like there's that group or that person. And I was like, it's fucking Murphy now? Let's go. Like, we fully made it to where that makes sense. Like, that moment of him doing that, I was like, yeah, you're right. And that totally makes sense with your character.
It totally, this whole season has really, like, put him on that path. But because it's weird when you think about just like last season, he was ready to, like, offer, like, to, like, live forever as 2 other people.
Yeah.
Just to survive.
Then last season, it was very like, I don't think he felt bad about it. You know what I mean? Whereas before,
I think he always felt bad about it. Well, maybe not at the very beginning.
In early seasons, he was just like, I'm doing whatever the fuck for myself.
But that's the thing. Like when you think about Murphy and you think in this situation, old Murphy would have just been like, cool, we're on Earth. It's livable. Let's party. Yeah. Like that's the end of the story. And now he's like, no, like he has the moral responsibility. And it is cool to have him as that character.
I'm a huge fan. But yeah, he said, some of these people are from here, Juan Crew leads prisoners, etc. I can't remember exactly what he says to Raven to get her to try and fix the helmet, but he says something and she's like, God damn it. And then goes to do it. And
he says something about Hatch.
Yeah, something.
He says like when you sent Hatch to like die, were you just doing it for your people, or you're doing it for everybody? Yeah. And so it's like, oh,
like, fuck. You're right. And then he said 6 years of watching Bellamy manipulate her on the ring, and then he was like, and Amori did the same thing.
Yeah.
Of just mentioning.
Just like I remember, they remember.
Yeah, and they had a moment here that was actually really well done and really like powerful, because they mentioned the ring in this moment to remind you that they spent 6 years. Him, Amori, Raven, Echo, Bellamy.
Yeah.
They were the ones on the ring. That's the fucking ring crew. Yeah. And it's like those characters are absolutely going to be the ones that are hit hardest.
Where was Monty?
Wasn't he dead at that point?
No, because
was Monty there?
That was still Earth. Monty wasn't in the bunker. Yeah, I think Monty and what's her name?
Harper, right?
Harper.
See, Harper is an example of one of those characters that was in the background for so long and then came up, you know? I actually remember that happening with Harper because she was like, she never had any lines, but she was always there.
In the scene,
and then one time she got a line, and then you're like, oh, shit, and then just like more.
She speaks.
Great. Yeah.
I think, were they in the bunker? No, I don't think they were in the bunker.
Well, first of all, they were on. Yeah. You know, so okay, no, because they were on. No, they were in the bunker. That's why Nyla said that was his recipe. That was her. Okay,
well, I just thought that they like
Monty was in the bunker.
I just thought she would have gotten it from like
ring
before.
Is not where they're in cryo. Like those are two different ships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And where Monty eventually like died.
Yeah.
That's legit one of my favorite.
I just don't remember where they were during that like time.
You're right, but I'm pretty sure it was the.
I don't remember them like being cannibals. I know. That's just like a throwaway line. It's just like I don't remember them eating people. But yeah, I don't remember them there. I'll have to watch that season again.
Oh no, I think he might have been part of the ring. I think he was on the ring.
I think so too. I think that would have been the more smart place to put him.
The wiki says he is a part of the crew that went to space in order to avoid the death wave during the next 6 years. He lives on the ring and develops because he develops an algae farm that successfully sustains the rest of the space crew. Don't you remember
because he comes back
talking
down.
About when they were on the ring? Do you remember them talking about like
his algae?
Terrible algae? Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, okay. We got to rewatch the show, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Do it. Let's see. But yeah, losing Bellamy is gonna hurt them the most, honestly. Yeah. Because they spent like the most time with them. I mean, not like Octavia, but so I really like that moment. And then we cut to Octavia is outside chanting in Grounder, which, by the way, I should stop calling Grounder because I did some research and I'm pretty sure I don't know how to say it, but it definitely has a name. I've probably been saying Grounder.
Chick's name.
It's I have it written down, but I don't know how to say that. Do you wanna try?
What was that girl's name?
Oh, Callie.
Callie language.
It's not that. That's what it's called. I sent it to you on Discord.
I don't have it popped out. It's
called like if you undo it, it'll mess up the video.
Yeah.
It's like Trigedasleng. It's like Trigedasleng. Trigedasleng. So that's the language. It's the name of the language. The name itself sounds.
But they say Grounder, don't they? Like
Probably.
They say like, oh, it's speaking. They don't say speaking.
I think they've said that before in the show, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wrote that I can't place it, but we've heard it before. This is definitely a thing. And I Googled the quote trying to find where it was said before in the show, but I couldn't find it. It definitely sounds like a burial ritual. Indra comes up behind her and she's like, "Did Lincoln teach you that?" And then she was like, "You weren't my only teacher." Indra's like, "No, just the best." And then Octavia's like, Yeah. Gives a little nod. And
Just
I was
like
"Oh, that's really
the
cute."
little touches of comedy are I really like in episodes like this, where it's like it's not like a
Yeah.
laugh out loud line, but it's just like a little chuckle that you're like, oh, like it's still lighthearted, even though they're in this like weird situation.
Yeah, yeah. I wrote, what a good moment, too. I love this dialogue. Fuck, this episode is killing it. That's the moment where I was like, I'm really liking this episode. And then, let's see. This I'm just going to read my note because it's a long run. I said, what a fucking good, real-ass moment. Indra is talking with Octavia about how it's been 10 years for her, yet she still can't get past what she did in the bunker. That's why Octavia is outside, because she doesn't want to go in there. And then Octavia was like, I thought I did, but seeing the fighting pits, I don't know. And then I wrote, how real is that shit? You can absolutely get through something or think that you did, and then some image, memory, sound, smell can bring you back to those emotions. And then I was like, how kind and awesome of it for Indra to say, I'm sitting out here with you. I'm just as guilty as you. Like, if you're going to be out here because
like
of
they
that,
said, she said like
too.
we were all blood Reina.
Yeah.
Like it was like everybody's choice. And I love that they have this moment together, and it's a moment about like something that happened. What is that now? 2 seasons ago? Yeah. 2 to 3 seasons ago, like around that time. And it's like it's such a callback to like a different person that Octavia was back then, and how much she has grown, but she still has these things that she's dealing with. Like she still has she still remembers all of the things that she did in the bunker. I just really liked that it was like it's not just stuff that's happening now. It's really like a conclusion of everything.
Yeah, and it's very, I mean, it's real. Like that's why I really liked it so much, is like, and I also liked it because Indra bringing up, I just saw you a couple days ago, but for you it's been 10 years. Yeah. I was like, that's a good thing to keep in perspective for characters, to remind the audience of how crazy that is, and how, Octavia might end up acting differently around Indra, It's a good thing to just keep in mind. But yeah, I really liked it because it was a super real moment. Like, absolutely, I have had that where I've totally thought I was through something, and then, like, a certain song came on, and I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, yeah. And it totally just, like, brought me back to a certain thing. But, like Octavia, I'm sure, if it was anything like how I dealt with it, you really are through it. You really have healed from it. It's just a reminder, and it kind of hurts for a bit, and then you're like, no, it's fine, like I'm in a good place. So Octavia just probably was not ready to be reminded like that. It probably hit a lot harder, a lot closer to home than she would have wanted. But yeah, I really like that moment.
Well, you don't really get to prepare for that when you go through a portal and it throws you into this bunker that you did terrible things in.
Let's see. Gaia and Indra have a nice little moment. So Indra and Octavia decide to face their demons together, which was good. And then they go back in the bunker. And then Indra and Gaia have a nice little moment because Gaia was like, she was always your real daughter, or something like that. And Indra's like, no, it's you, honey. Yeah.
This is all just something about being a warrior. And it's like, oh yeah, like that makes more sense. Like, Gaia's not the warrior type.
Which is something we've seen from Gaia or heard from Gaia.
But like before. Their relationship too, like even though we haven't seen, even just like their interaction in this scene, you can tell that their relationship is a lot different than what it used to be. And like they're, even though they haven't seen each other in how many days or who knows how long.
For them, it's just been days. Cause,
it's just been.
They asked Gaia how long she was there, and she was like just a couple days or something.
Yeah. So, even though they haven't seen each other for a couple of days, like their relationship is still a lot better than like when in like other like past seasons. Like they're a lot closer.
Yeah. And then let's see. Then the fucking bridge opens up right there. And I love Indra's immediately, here they come on me, like immediately jumping into like general mode. And then Octavia grabbed weapons off of the off of the fence that were there from the fighting pits from years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, and tosses one to Gaia, and they all like arm up. Then as a viewer, I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And then
I didn't know what was gonna come through the portal, but I was like, who would they send? Like,
well, Shade Hada we knew was coming, but I thought it was gonna be him, like, you know, with a group of disciples. I thought he was coming in with a like leading a strike team.
Yeah.
But it opens up, and as a viewer, you're like, oh shit, here we go. And then and then it closes. And then for a second, like right before they showed it, I was like, oh shit.
You always forget. They're like, oh yeah, they have invisibility.
Yeah, dude. And then they show him like in the helmet, and he's in there invisible. But I love Indra's. She was like, something's here. I can feel it. She's like, something's here. I was like, that's badass. Shade Hada's fucking cloaked. And now we go over to the rec room. Jordan and Hope are dancing as Gabriel's playing on the piano. It's super cute. Hope stops at a certain point and then just runs off. And I love Gabriel turns is like, this part where you go after her, man.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cute. It was really good. And then Gabriel sits down. Maddie comes in. She finds them and she's like, this is great. She's like, this is a nice little moment.
Well,
and then,
doesn't she say like, I like this song? Like she says, I like this song, and I forget what song it was, but it was like a classical. I think it was Beethoven or something like that.
Yeah, he mentions that.
Yeah, and when she was like, oh, I like this song, I instantly, because now when I think of Maddie, I'm just thinking like all of her memories from like past commanders. So I'm like, I wonder if like she likes this song because like Becca listened to it when she was little, or like in her life. Maybe it just
sounded a little familiar, you know, from a past life.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, do you have any other songs? And he was like, I can do you one better. I can teach you. And I was like, yes, this is going to be adorable and super sweet. I love this. But yeah, I was like, my note is, oh, Gabriel's about to teach Maddie how to play the piano. That and the dancing, fuck, these are such sweet, amazing, beautiful moments intertwined with the panic and fear and dread brought on by Shade Hada being here, and Clark and Octavia frantically searching for Maddie because Octavia finds Clark and is like, you know, something's here.
Yeah.
We got to find Maddie. And then, so like, this is what I was saying before of like, I like how they keep cutting between this. Of the two, of Shade Hada like following them and looking for Maddie, and Gabriel teaching her how to play piano. I was like, because it's so weirdly the 100. It's so sweet and awesome and incredibly unsettling. And like the two being mixed together is like, oh, I don't feel good.
I guess I just wanted that payoff that like happens when
a little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later. I would want that like before the like commercial break. Because that editing was like you have this ramp up and then there is no like payoff for that. You have to like go after the commercial break and then it happens.
And then we do have like a whole scene with Echo and Nyla before that happens.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it was a weird spot for it maybe. Maybe if it was just like edited a little bit differently. It was still good. Sense. Like it was still like believable. I was just kind of like, oh, like I wonder how this is gonna end, and it doesn't end for a little bit later, and so I was kind of
yeah.
And the Nyla and Echo scene were really good too.
I like really like good. That's absolutely one of the ones where I was like, man, this episode's killing it with these like moments just between everybody. But yeah, Echo, or Nyla calls her Echo, and then she was like, Ash, that's my real name. My real name's Ash, and I was like, kind of dope.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of a really sad moment. She's she goes on about how every day she wanted to tell Bellamy like her real name, like every day for 6 years on the ring she wanted to like tell him, but she never did. And I was like, shit.
And now she never can. And it's just like, man, like you don't really think when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's tough. That's like really rough.
Yeah. I like they actually kind of gave Nyla a little bit of a backstory here, but I didn't I didn't fully understand this.
No, I didn't either.
Maybe when we go back, we'll figure it out. She said, Nyla was like, "You're not the only one with secrets. I was named for Queen Naya," which I do remember the character. Her mother was Asgeda, her father was Tree Crew, and they lived so far out in the woods so no one would know. But I liked her line at the end. She was like, "We are who we choose to be, and we don't owe anyone our pain." And I was like, that's a great fucking line,
And then
dude.
doesn't she say? She says something. She says Echo again, but then she says Ash. So it's like, I wonder, are they going to start calling Echo Ash for like the last
Probably
two episodes?
not.
Okay, good. 'Cause that would
Probably not. Especially since she just told Nyla, you know?
Yeah.
But I did like that for the moment. But yeah, it goes over. Now we cut to Murphy, Amori, and Raven. They're all working on the helmet. Murphy's like, "Can't you guys hurry up?" Or something like that. And both of them are like, "Bitch." He's like, I'm sorry. My bad. You're right. Hope is out in the hall crying. That's where Hope went. And I love Murphy. And see, this is a moment that Murphy would have never done in the past. But
Yeah.
Murphy, the way he is now, I was like, yeah, I totally see this. He goes out and like tries to help her.
And it's
he
funny
comes
because
out
I was
and
like, oh yeah, they've never met before.
Yes.
And I love
He's
that.
like,
yeah.
"Hey, we haven't properly met." And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy." And then I wrote, which is so cool. But she, of course, knows him from stories.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, John Murphy, I know of you. I've heard a lot about you." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." Let's see. And then Jordan comes down the hall and he was like, "Hey man, I got this," which I thought was kind of weird, but it was fine, I guess. And then he sits down and he at first like apologizes to Hope. He was like, "I didn't mean to upset you," or whatever. She's like, "It's okay." And then he sits down. My note says they were having fun dancing. Hope started to feel guilty. That's what she said. She was like, "I just started to feel guilty." And Jordan said he understands. He felt the same way when he came out of cryo and his parents were gone. And I don't know. I really like this line. It's very cliche, but like whenever I was in a bad period in my life, like I feel like this is the advice that I've gotten from a lot of people that honestly helped the most. Of the like, he was like, "It takes time, but it does get easier." And the way he said it, like the actor killed it.
Yeah.
Like he delivered that line super, like genuinely empathetic in the moment, and like it was really good. But yeah, I don't know. I really like that line.
Yeah, like I get it. Like it is like a cliche line, but it is just like the truth. It sounds cliche, but it is the truth. And and especially since Jordan went through it, he sort of knows a little bit of what Hope is going through at that moment, because she's in just like the early stages of like doing something terrible or feeling super guilty and just like
just feeling guilty about being happy. Like she had a good moment. Like she was in a good, happy moment, and she was like, "I don't deserve this."
Yeah.
Like I've definitely felt in a similar way like that before. So it was a very like, I don't know. It was a very kind of like weirdly real and emotionally kind of rich moment.
I do love that those two characters have come together.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like it makes so much sense, but it's not like forced. And I'm just like, oh, like it's just I like it. I like they're perfect.
We're shipping
together.
somebody right now.
Yeah.
We're shipping Hope and Jordan. I'm with it. But yeah, I really do like them together too. When the first scene with them together, I was like, "Oh my God, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is great." But yeah, then they start dancing in the hallway for a second without any music, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But then then Clark comes in. Shade Haida, I think Clark like rushes through the hallway, being like, "Where's Maddie?" Or they hear Clark in the distance, and Clark goes into the room where like Amori and John and Raven are, and now they're all like in there. And Clark and Octavia kind of explain what's going on. Shade Haida is there, cloaked in disguise. I'm pretty sure it was Hope who says this, but he hears that Maddie is in the rec room, and I think it was Octavia who's like closest to the door. He pushes her in and then locks the door. And
also, how would he know where the rec room is?
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, so as soon as they said that, he's either gonna do this, what he did, or I figured he was gonna follow them.
Yeah.
But no, I was
like you're still invisible, dude. Like it would still be fine to follow them because it's like you don't know what that room is.
Yeah, you don't know where that is. But yeah, I thought that was weird too. I'm glad you noticed that. I was like, how does he know where the rec room is? Let's see. Okay, this next bit, I want to admit that I was spoiled on it for a second.
Really? That's because I did not see this coming, and I was like, oh my god,
I was really bummed because
I was more upset about this than last episode.
Yep. I was more, once it happened, I was really bummed that I got spoiled on it because I was like, it happened in such a fucking shocking way too.
Yeah.
That like I would not have, it would have been so surprising if I had seen that. But when I literally looked up, I was just really curious like what other people were saying because I missed the Reddit. I haven't been using the Reddit as much as I used to. I looked up like Nyla's quote to see if anyone was like talking about that on the subreddit, and I saw I was scrolling for a bit and I just saw like Gabriel's death and I was like, what the fuck? I was here for 2 seconds. I shouldn't have done this. I should have known better. But I was there for like, I didn't even scroll. It was like on the front and I was like, damn it. God. And it was like in the middle of the episode. But yeah, this was awesome though.
Yeah.
Like the way Gabriel went out was awesome. Super happy about it. But Gabriel getting fucking stabbed. Like he's there teaching Maddie, and because I was spoiled on it, I was like, oh no. And then he just got stabbed through.
Yeah, like there's no warning. Like I like when those kind of shocks happen.
Yeah.
Not when it's like a twist in a story that they kind of like draw out a little bit. Like even if you didn't know what was gonna happen to Bellamy, but like that last scene, especially where you are in that episode, it's at the end. You're like, I can almost see it going. Like I can almost
happening.
You can see something serious happening. But with this, it was just like out of nowhere. Yeah. It was like,
and they've done.
I guess
that
it was
before,
sort of like the Red Wedding a little bit, where it's like you wouldn't really expect like that kind of thing there.
Yeah, for sure. I really liked it, even though I knew it was coming. And it happened, I still like verbally, physically gasped.
Yeah.
I went,
yeah.
Like straight up, like, oh my god. And then let's see. Shadehead is still invisible. He's going after Maddie. At one point, he takes his helmet off and he explains himself to Maddie. I do have a note here about that where I was like, I do like that Shadehead is actually here just for personal revenge.
Oh yeah.
Because earlier, when he agreed or when he convinced Bill to go after Maddie himself, he was acting like he cared about transcendence and all this.
Well, because he didn't want to die. Because it was like transcend. He pretty much said like it's transcend or die, which is not a choice.
Yeah. But I was like, honestly, it doesn't make sense for Shadehead to just blindly believe that. So I'm glad that wasn't why he came. He came to, as he said, gut Maddie. So I was like, I do like that he went through that and they explained that. So that makes a lot more sense for the character. I wrote, Gabriel coming to the rescue for a moment was perfect. Rest in peace, brother.
Well, that's the thing is like I still didn't know he was gonna die. So when he came back, I was like, oh, okay, he's still got a chance. And then there's like a couple of times, and Shade Hater like stabs him like a couple more times.
Dude,
I was like, no.
So and I think Gabriel's a scientist. He's not like a warrior, but so he tackled Shade Hater while he was like threatening Maddie, and then he just like he knew he was just buying time. Yeah. Like, I think he knew that. And he was like, He yells that Indra's in the rotunda, go get help, and she rushes off. And I wrote, Shade Hater stabs him so much with a frowny face.
Yeah, so many times. I was like,
straight up was like,
when he did that, I was like, oh no, he's gone.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh,
he is gone.
Yeah. Let's see. What is my next note? My next note says, "Fuck." He fucking. Oh yeah.
That was
Okay,
the fight
so
scene, I think.
I skipped a bit. Yeah. So then, Maddie runs into the fighting pits where Octavia and Gaia. Actually, not Octavia. I don't think it's just Gaia and Indra. Is
no,
Octavia there?
that's right. Octavia was with Clark and them, so it's just
it's just Gaia and Indra.
Yeah.
And they have a whole fight scene with Shade Hater, which was fucking dope.
It was a really good one.
Really good.
A really good fight scene. I don't know if it was the best one of this season, but it's pretty up there.
No, but it was good. Yeah. And he loses. That's what I was happy about. I was like, oh my god, he actually lost. I will say it's very like I'm so deep in TV shows at this time at this point to where like when Shade Hater and Indra had that first duel, I was like, she's gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just based on where that fight is in that season. Yeah. And I was like, Shade Hater's gonna rise to power. Like it's the placing of that in the show.
The shitty thing about watching TV shows is like you start to see like arcs.
Patterns.
Patterns, and you're like, okay, well this person's probably going to be the winner of the whole season, but they have to be knocked down a little bit in the mid-season for them to have another rise.
Yeah, you got to bring them down to bring them back up. Like, so at this point, I was like, Indra already lost to him. She's going to win. Like, I didn't actually think that, but when it happened, I was like, well, yeah, of course. There's 2 episodes left for the season. But, it's just, I don't like that I can see that stuff. But yeah, he lost, and then he stabbed himself in the gut with this knife that like transported him out, which I should have mentioned before. That's how Bill escaped originally.
Yeah. No, Bill escaped by the
he had like little pills that he took and brought him back. I
think the knife does something similar.
My note that I had down, like, where the fuck is all this transportation stuff before? Where has this teleportation technology been this whole season?
Well,
I feel like it's quite a big deal that they can teleport now. And
but like
just like, here it is.
Well, it's not even like teleporting. It's pretty much, so say we're in Bardo. This is where I don't get. Like they would swallow. I think
all it is a way back to Bardo.
No, but it's just a tracking device. So like, that's what they've said. So it's all it is a tracking device for them to when they're at Bardo, they would see, oh, the tracking device is online. They would pull that tracking device back to Bardo. But the thing is, but they don't ever turn on the tracking device. All they do is just like swallow it. So I'm like, how do they know when to bring them back?
Who knows? But I just don't get, it's so, did they ever explain it? Because like, so far right now, all we know as ways to teleport is a fucking wormhole, which is the bridge in the anomaly. So it's like, this is a very, I don't know, it feels like such a big deal.
Hope explained it when she explained the whole backstory of her going to get Octavia. Because like when Hope stabs Octavia at the very beginning and Octavia disappears.
Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah.
So Hope explains it then, but we never really see it anymore. We don't see it
That's a good
ever
point.
again.
Yeah. You're totally right, though. I forgot about that. So they did establish the technology, and it's very clearly just for the disciples. So I guess it's not as big of a thing. But it was very, not seeing it for like
we don't see it for a whole season.
And then 14 episodes later, they're also like, oh, yeah, we can do this.
We can do this.
Like, oh, yeah, shit. Let's see. And
then he disappears.
He disappears. He's out of there. Murphy breaks the window, and I was like, of course, it's Murphy. Murphy's the one to break the fucking window. Let's go.
Also, I was just gonna say, it would be cool. It would have been cool if when he was disappearing on the floor, that like Indra tried to stab and then like stabbed the floor. Which that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I was about to say, I think that actually happened.
Maybe it did, and I think
because she said, "May your fight," or what is it? What's the phrase? she said the like your fight is over, I think it is. And then she swung. And he disappeared. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find that as we speak. But let's see. Yeah, so Murphy's like trying to break the window with a crowbar, and Clark's like, "That's not gonna work." And then he was like, "You were saying?" As
And then it works.
She's like, "Nice job, Murphy." Like, hell yeah. And then they run in. They find Gabriel. He isn't dead. They found him. And I really like that Hope and Octavia immediately rushed to him. It's
especially
they spent 5 years with him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They
Hope.
keep that. Like they follow. Because I remember at the beginning of the season, it was like, or even like a couple seasons ago with The Ring. It's like so many of these characters have spent different amounts of time together and have these bonds that we haven't necessarily seen on screen, but we know that it's there because of the amount of time that you spend with somebody, right?
Yeah.
And there's been so many different versions of that it's like we have said multiple times, like, there's no way they follow all this. Like, that's so hard to track and all that. But I keep paying attention, and they definitely are. Like, they are absolutely making sure that certain characters are where they need to be, with who they need to be, based on all of that. And it's super impressive.
The one thing I find funny and a little bit weird is because, like, Nyla and Echo, they were, like, sleeping. They're sleeping throughout this whole time. So they've missed now, like, 2 big deaths. Like, back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
So now they're going to wake up and Nyla and Echo and be like, oh, yeah, Gabriel's dead.
Yeah. And Echo not being there is one of the people who was with him, so that sucks.
It was very weird that, like, she wasn't there. Obviously, like, they were sleeping because she said that she was tired, obviously, from finding out that Bellamy is dead. But, yeah, it was just weird not having her in this group.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true for sure. And then Maddie comes in, so Clark's not desperately searching for Maddie, and we can give Gabriel his moment. That's another thing I realized. I was like, that's why Maddie, because let's see. But Gabriel is still at the end trying to help. Like, he was like, the stone, find it, and then when they were like, we couldn't fix the helmet, Raven said something like that. He was like, Shade hated his helmet. He left it. Like, he pointed that out. I was like, fuck yeah, Gabriel, let's go.
Well, they never have said how many years, like, Gabriel's been out. But he's pretty old. So it's like, I can understand. You know what? I'd probably want to die too. I'd probably be like, you know what? I'm good. Yeah. I'm back on Earth. Like, let me die here. Like, that's good. It's true. A good way to go.
And he was honestly, the children of Gabriel, he was the one who felt guilty about taking bodies and had stopped. So, like, I get it. It's absolutely made sense. Because, Jackson rushes in and starts to try to help. And then he was like, no, dude, I want this.
Yeah.
And then I didn't write down who was saying it, but I think it was Octavia. Started saying in Grounder, or however you say that word, like I did before. In peace, may you leave this shore. In love, may you... Actually, I don't know if it was in Grounder.
No, I think it was.
Yeah. But it's the classic... It's the classic 100. Like,
the death burial phrase. Yeah.
In peace may you leave this shore, in love may you find the next. Safe passage on your travels until our final journey to the ground. May we meet again. But at the end, literally all of them,
everybody says
may
it.
we meet again. Yeah, and I was like, fuck yes. It's so, because that was a phrase from season 1 of the 100. Like, until our final journey to the ground. Like, that's from the arc.
Yeah.
It's from the original group. Like, I really like that. And then I wrote, they're also used to death. Like,
it is weird though. Like, we've had these 2 deaths in back-to-back episodes, but this one feels heavier. At least
they
to
gave
me.
this one time. They gave
time.
it a moment. Like, Gabriel had a moment. You know what I mean? The saddest I felt for Bellamy was the next episode when Clark, I almost called Clark Bellamy for some reason. When Clark tells what happened and everybody reacts, like, that moment. And they did that on purpose. Like, Bellamy's death was supposed to be a shock, right?
And then it was just over.
And then the next episode they picked right up, and then they gave you time to grieve. They give you a lot of time to grieve. Like a lot of this episode was people dealing with Bellamy's death.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked how it was handled, all things considered. But yeah, they were definitely two different ways to handle it.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, rest in peace, Gabriel. May we meet again. You know, gotta say it whenever somebody dies. That's our thing that I'm making right now.
Watch nobody else die in this show.
Well, 2 more episodes. You never know.
Maybe we have a death every episode now.
Oh God, we've lost a good bit of people. Remember when we were like, oh, we're not gonna lose a ton. Like we haven't lost much this season, and then now it's been like 3 in a row.
3 pretty big characters. Like 1 from season 1, and then 2 from the past 2.
Yeah, I remember you saying like, oh, I kind of hope we start losing somebody soon because if we haven't had a death in a while.
Because I feel
and
that
now
like
here we are. You did this to us, Tyson.
I feel that death in these shows make these shows feel more real because these characters go through crazy things, and for them to always get off by the skin of their teeth is just like unbelievable. And it's just like you want to believe it, and so when you see consequences, and the consequences sometimes are some people die, it makes it feel more real. Instead of just like, oh yeah, we did all these crazy things and we all survived. It's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, no, this show, anything can happen, man. That's absolutely what I like about it. Also, I definitely I found the clip. That absolutely happened.
Oh, does it happen? Maybe I looked away.
And then he teleported away as she hit the ground with the sword. So you're like, oh, it'd be cool if this happened. Hey, man, they're already on it. Let's see. And then Maddie starts talking about how she doesn't want anyone else to die for her. Like, she's like, I don't want to go to war. Because Clark starts basically talking about how she's going to fucking go to war for this. And she's like, oh, no, absolutely not. And I was like, honestly, I really get it and kind of respect it.
But it's not just about Maddie. It's because of the information Maddie has.
Yeah.
And the things.
She's the only one that has it.
Yes, but the things that can be done with that information, like they don't know what the code does. Like nobody actually knows.
Sure.
So it's like we're trying to stop them from doing that thing and inputting this code and doing the last war, whatever the fuck they think is gonna happen. And so it's like it's bigger than just Maddie.
Yeah,
like,
that's
as
true.
Maddie, she has to think of
that for sure.
Like it is just like protecting you, but like it's also protecting the information that is in your head.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. But she goes back and finds the knife trackers. That
Did you find the knife or the trackers?
Yeah, she stabbed herself in the gut. But she originally reached for the pills, I think, and then
no, I thought she went into the vent.
Well, she went for the pills originally, but she went into the vent and she popped back up in the fighting pit, and then Clark tried to stop her. She was holding the knife. Like, that's how it was super serious, because she was
I must have literally looked away for a second or walked away.
She was like, I'm going to do it. And then Clark was like, no. She ran towards it. She stabbed herself.
Okay.
Teleported away. And then she's out, dude. She's out. But then the bridge opens up again.
Yeah, I remember this part.
And Indra shouts in, I'm going to try and say it again, Trigetta Sling. And then she was like, she shouts in that take up arms, and it sounded so fucking cool.
I didn't know.
Every now and then they say something in Grounder that I'm like, that was awesome.
I didn't know what was going to happen when the portal, because I was like, why would they come? I was like, okay.
Dude.
I know. And then when what came through the portal, I was like, that is perfect.
Yeah, dude, I had no idea either. I thought it was going to just be like, or maybe even just like shooting lasers through the portal.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like disciples popping out, shooting lasers. But my note just says fucking bomb in all caps.
Yeah, it was great.
I was like, oh shit. And then Miller, I was like, God damn, my boy over here. He runs, grabs the bomb. I think he yells bomb, and then runs, grabs it, throws it in the hallway, shuts the bunker door.
When he grabbed it, I was like, oh shit, are they gonna kill Miller off?
I thought he was gonna just jump on it, and it was gonna like jumping on a grenade. You know, that's what I thought for a second. I was like, oh fuck. And then he shuts it in the bunker. And then he gets away. Everybody in there seems fine. I don't know. But then the episode ends with like, it cuts to Amori and Murphy, and they get separated. This was shot so well too. The tension with this was like,
it was such a it was a very weird way to end the episode. Like, it's not a huge cliffhanger, but it's also like, it was just such an abrupt stop that I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
because I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what the next episode's sort of gonna be.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
There's been so many like big moments and cliffhangers in a way. There were so many deaths and fights like this episode, and good emotional moments. Like this episode was full of so many things that one more little one to end the episode, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I didn't watch it back, but it's not. I don't think that the rocks like fell on anybody. I think it just like separated them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think I finished it, but yeah, Amori and Murphy, they got like separated. Like the roof started to crumble and they got separated, and that's how it ended.
Now they have to find the orb. They have to input the code for Bardo. They have to get back to Bardo, and then So now Bill has Maddie. Now you can get the code.
Think he's gonna start it? You think the last war is about to start, bro? Think it's time?
I mean, I really hope so.
Me too. I hope the last war, quote unquote, starts next episode. If there even is one. Maybe it's a test and he fails.
Yeah, like put in the code next episode.
Yeah.
That's a good rhyme right there.
Awesome. Put in the code next episode, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think to have 2 episodes to kind of explain everything but yeah, I'm
so excited.
It's a good.
Still don't know what the fuck this transcendence is.
Yeah.
There were still the lights in that cave. Like,
there is still like a lot to explain, but they're actually pretty good at explaining things in a short amount of time. You're like, how would this happen? And then they say like one sentence, and then you're just like,
here we are.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, in this world, it makes sense. It's just like with Earth. It's like the offline planet was the one planet and I was like, I knew it was Earth. I knew it.
I remember us being like, oh my god, we're tracking these 6 planets that they mentioned. There's just no way they're gonna go to all of them and they do. Like, this show, man.
There's a couple
we saw all of them. They wrapped that up.
We saw all of the planets.
Yeah.
And now
I wrote on Twitter, like after I finished this episode, I was like, how the fuck is the 100 this good? You know? Like, we don't deserve it. We don't deserve it.
It is really good.
As a society, man.
Like, shows don't end well, like, ever.
Yeah.
Like, you're never... I don't think...
My 2 favorite shows have great endings. So, like, And honestly, a lot of the time, I do find that finales actually do a pretty good job. But they're the ones that don't really stand out. You know, the ones that don't do a good job.
Well, because usually the ones that don't are the ones that are like, it's a really good show.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't resolve. Goes off
the rails towards the end or something like that. Yeah.
There are I guess there are a couple shows that I can think of that do have good endings, but there are some that are just like so painfully bad.
Try The Last Airbender, dog. Sozin's Comments, an hour-long special.
I don't know.
It's like a movie, dog. And then that's Avatar. And then I really like The Office's finale too. I think they did a really good job with that. But
I haven't watched that, but I heard that like The Office.
Don't tell me you're the man who's always like Parks and Rec is better than The Office. You finished The Office?
I watched until Michael left, and then I was like, oh, I'm done with the show. And then didn't like James Spader come in?
One of those.
So Ultron is like is in, and then Jim Carrey,
dude. I'm the fucking Lizard King.
And then isn't Jim Carrey in the last season?
I think he's there for like a second. I think he makes like a guest appearance.
Okay, I thought he was like
Will
the new
Ferrell's
Michael.
there for a bit.
Okay. I
He's
don't
there
know.
for like 3 episodes.
No. As soon as Michael
James
Scott left, I was
Spader's
like,
in.
yeah, that's the end of the show for me. And even then, I was like,
get
I was
it.
already over this
I'm
show.
just disappointed.
There are better.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No, it's
It's okay though. I understand. A lot of people didn't like that show when Michael left, and I get it. I understand. I just don't subscribe to that theory.
I didn't really like the show when Michael was on it.
You're just not a human, sir.
No, it's not.
How
It's
does
an
it feel
okay
to be
show.
a Bardoan?
It's an okay show. People have their rose tinted glasses on.
I've literally watched that show 10 times. It holds up every time.
It's the same with Friends. People love Friends. Friends is not that
I,
good.
I can't speak on that one. I have seen some of Friends. I haven't like watched Friends. I don't think it's that great.
It was good in its time.
Let's see.
It's a product of its time where the jokes aren't
Making
as funny.
a lot of friends and a lot of enemies at the end of this episode right now.
No, I'm speaking the truth. Also, it's a very like a full white cast for the whole show.
yeah.
It's like
I mean,
it's a different time of a show. That's why I don't really like it anymore.
Yeah.
Same with like How I Met Your Mother. It's just like these shows.
I wonder. That
No,
probably doesn't hold up.
No, it doesn't hold up, and you're like you think it's
bet
funny,
that one does.
but then you watch it and you're like, oh man. Barney, it's like, yeah, he was a funny character, but like he manipulates women into
That's
bed
what I was
like
gonna
all
say. I
the
bet
time.
Barney was like a garbage. Now that I think
And
about
you
it, he's
think-
kind of a garbage human.
And like, 10, 15 years ago, you watch that show and you're like, oh yeah,
Just
this is
laugh.
funny. And then you watch it
And
now and you're like,
ooh.
oh, that's really tasteless. And you're like, no, I don't think
Didn't he have a thing where he would just answer the door naked?
probably.
Wasn't
Oh
that a
yeah,
Barney thing?
because he said that it would work out like it's like 2 out
Like-
of 80. I forget
Yeah.
how many times. It was like 2 out of 3
Yeah,
times or
yeah, it
something
was like
like
a
that.
stat. That's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it
The
is a-
Office
it is a
doesn't hold up
sitcom,
when
so-
it comes to the like offensive comedy. But to be fair, it didn't even then. Like I remember, even when I was watching it, I was like, "Ooh, this is," and that's kind of the point. This has been your sitcom hour. iCarly, even though it's a kids show, still funny, still holds up. Will die on that hill.
I'll take your word for it. I will
You
also
will
add.
have to because they're never gonna put it on a streaming service.
Oh,
And it
well.
upsets me.
No, I said I'll take your word for it because they'll never watch
Yeah,
it.
I know. I'm saying you're gonna have to take my word for it because you can't watch it even if you wanted to.
I'll add Gossip Girl on to that list of amazing shows.
A sitcom?
Not sitcom, just amazing shows in general.
That's
I'm almost on the last season. It gets a little weird, but man, some of those characters are just amazing.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Watch Gossip
right,
Girl.
well.
If you haven't watched Gossip Girl, it's no like
I definitely haven't.
it's really good. Like it's really good.
All right.
There's
All right,
a lot
well,
of
that's
mystery.
gonna do it for the episode today, y'all. Tweet at us about the show. Oh my God, there's only 2 episodes left. I hope you're as excited as we are. You can tweet at me at TeddyChinaris and find my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/TeddyChinaris. And Tyson, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch TPellegrini.
All right.
And that's it.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu.
Bid you a dude.
That's not what. All right. Bye.
See you next week.